name is Manisha. I'm in semester 2 right now. The subtopic we are doing right now is classroom-based assessment and school-based assessment, where we interviewed a fellow colleague of mine. Her name is Miss Kavita, the head of secondary at HIS International School, where teachers are working under her from year 7 to year 11, where she handles IGCSE tests, mock tests, and also mock exam for monthly and year-end tests. Well, the question I asked her was, what are the effective applications of classroom-based assessment as compared to school-based assessment? And her reply was, classroom-based assessment is an immediate feedback support where it gives continuous learning and also is tailored to individual needs, fostering their active engagement. For example, quizzes, class discussion, classroom forum, and also group project. And when it comes to school-based assessment, it provides standardized benchmarkers for long-term evaluation, encourages comprehensive learning throughout their project and portfolios, which prepares students for future academic or standardized. The second question that I asked Ms. Kavita was, what are the implications of CBA and SBA on students' academic performance? And her reply was, CBA improves understanding and retention through formative feedback, which encourages skill building, critical thinking, and also boost their confidence as well. It may vary in effectiveness due to teacher subjectivity, whereas when it comes to SBA, it ensures accountability and consistency across the school, where it helps students to develop time management and also organization skills, and it also can create stress or overemphasize grades, impacting creativity. Lastly, the question that I asked Ms. Kavita was, what strategies would you use to involve students in their own assessment process? And she replied, self-assessment, where it uses rubric for students to evaluate their work and set improvement goals. Peer feedback, where it facilitates constructivity peer reviews to develop collaborative evaluation skills. Lastly, co-creation of criteria, where it involves students in designing assessment rubrics to increase ownership and clarity. With that, my conclusion is both school-based assessment and classroom-based assessment offer valuable insight into students' learning and development. SBA provides a comprehensive, holistic view of students' abilities through a variety of assessment methods, while CBA offers immediate personalized feedback and also encourages active participation. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Fatihah. My first question during my interview session with Ms. Kavita was, how do you integrate SBA and CBA in your teaching? In my understanding, by aligning the CBA informative assessment in the learning process, such as quiz, multiple choices question, and foster question, whereas SBA involved in summative assessments such as final exam and final year project. Additionally, CBA involved informative assessment to help assess the student progress during the class session to provide additional support about their misunderstanding and misconception during the lesson, where teacher can provide immediate support and guidance to the student. Moreover, this is to build up the student confidence and motivation to grasp their understanding and knowledge when the teacher provides guidance. Furthermore, this is basic parameter for the teacher to know how well has the student performed and identify their understanding in the specific topic. Next, to ensure the student are well prepared for SBA involving the summative assessment, it requires the student to apply the knowledge they have learned, which allow the student to evaluate and create their new ideas and concepts to be applied in summative assessment. As a result, teacher can evaluate their student overall level degree of understanding in the knowledge to produce a better academic outcome. My second question was, how do you apply SBA and CBA for students with different abilities in a classroom? Firstly, the student with different abilities, teachers apply different method of teaching in class, but tailor the learning materials based on their strength and weakness by consider the level of abilities. For lower paced learner who not yet achieve or fully grasp their understanding in the topic or knowledge, teacher will extend their assignment. Additionally, focusing on lower paced learner and high paced learners, teacher must create the learning materials with different approaches or flexible formats, such as virtual learning, oral speaking, and writing. This is to increase student attention and interest in the classroom as well to deepen their understanding. Furthermore, by applying scaffolding in SBA, where the complex tasks become more manageable steps when it breaks into smaller parts, and to provide additional support. This is to reduce stress and pressure on the student while learning new knowledge. This is commonly faced by lower paced students because they find out they struggle to understand new topic. Moreover, teacher must create a balanced assessment to cater lower and higher paced learner, where collaborative work or pair work is implemented in SBA and CBA. For example, when a student involved in SBA summative assessment such as final year project, this promotes the student to work in teams where they have to brainstorm ideas and identify the issue in the main topic of the assignment. Also, it develops the student critical thinking, problem solving skills, and creative thinking. Besides, it promotes the students' self-improvement in communication skills within the peers, which allow them to exchange insights and ideas based on their understanding and the knowledge. my reflection on CBA versus SBA. In my viewpoint, the impact CBA has greatly benefited the student in the terms of academics and learning progress through formative assessment, whereas SBA enforces to strengthen the student understanding and apply it in real-world context through summative assessment. This allows students to improve their academic performance from time to time, and the impact on the teachers preparing lesson material planning for the student become more efficient and manageable. This allows the teacher to set up the goals aligned with standard educational settings and to prove the reliability and the validity of assessment in CBA and SBA are aligned with educational objectives which are valid and consistent in result. This is to produce a comprehensive learning environment and to boost motivation in learning to reach better educational outcomes.
Hi, my name is Terra Eve Teo. I will share my own viewpoint. First question is, in your opinion, which assessment method, CBA or SBA, is more effective in promoting student learning? Why? In my opinion, CBA, which is classroom-based assessment, is more effective. Just like what Ms. Kavita said, CBA is more aimed to a continuous feedback from students, and it encourages students to have a more active learning style. Not only that, but it also helps students develop more personal skill, which helps students understand exactly what they need to achieve. CBA encourages a more one-on-one learning style, which helps teachers to focus on each student capability. CBA involves continuous tracking of student performance. This helps teachers to keep track of students by ensuring students getting the help they need. For the next question is, what are the strengths and weaknesses of both CBA and SBA when it comes to improving student academic performance? First, CBA is more aimed to improve engagement and encourage active participation. Not only that, but it also improves students and helps knowledge and skill needed for success in both academically and real world. CBA encourages them to develop a deeper understanding rather than just memorization. It allows students to improve in specific skills that they can master. CBA downside will be, it relies mostly on a teacher expertise, which is a downside to CBA. Not only that, but CBA is not highly recognized in high-stake evaluation, while for SBA, it provides a standardization student performance for all schools. Not only that, but it also helps students to prepare for state exam, for example, SPM, which stands for Sedia Pelajaran Malaysia. SBA often requires students to apply their knowledge and think critically about problems, which can foster a more cognitive skill like analysis and evaluation. SBA downside will be it put too much stress on students as it aims for students to achieve a standardized goal in order to be deemed as norm. In conclusion, the mix of SBA and CBA in a learning environment should be the most standardized method, but they each come with their own challenge. SBA that focus more on holistic and flexible approach, but it struggle with consistency in grading, while CBA offer more precise tracking of individual learning, but it can be resource intensive and narrow in a fixed grading. With the people of both based learning, students can get to ensure that are assessed in a way that supports both individual character development and academic development. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Farhana binti Amir and I'm in semester 1 student in a Bachelor in Education program. So today I will presenting on the implication of the classroom-based assessment CBA and school-based assessment SBA. The question that I asked Ms. Kavita is how do CBA and SBA prepare students for further academic challenge or real-world applications of their learning? So, this is my opinion. My first point is holistic skill development. CBA and SBA are designed to enhance essential skills like critical thinking, problem solving, and communication on. For the example, in a project-based task, student might be analyze a real-world issue and present solution. This is not only improve their subject knowledge, but also equip them with a skill applicable in any career. My second point is a real-world application. So, through the project presentation and teamwork, a student participant in activity that might make real-life a scenario. For instance, a group assignment to create a business plan allow a student to apply a theoretical knowledge in a practical ways, preparing them for a further challenge. The last point is relevant to the further. This assessment prepare a student for both academic and a career challenge. For example, a science fair project teach a research and analytical skill, which is directly transferable to both higher education and the workplace. So the second question that I asked Miss Kavita is, how has the use of CBA and SBA changed your approach to a planning lesson or designing classroom activity? Here is my opinion. So the first point is student-centered approach. CBA and SBA encourage diverse activities beyond traditional exam. Teacher now design a lesson that include project, case study, and interactive discussion, ensuring engagement for a different learning style. A scaffold support. Lessons are structured to provide step-by-step support, ensuring students build their skill gradually. For an example, in a writing assignment, students may first submit and outline their draft before the final version. This approach builds mastery and confidence. So the last point is focus on feedback. Regular feedback allows a student to reflect and improve. For instance, after receiving feedback on a draft, students revise their words, demonstration, growth, and the ability to adapt to constructive criticism. To conclude, classroom-based assessment, CBA, and school-based assessment, SBA, are not merely evaluation tools. They represent a transformative approach to education that benefits both students and educators. For students, this assessment go beyond a traditional exam to foster critical thinking, solve the problem, and a communication skill, preparing them for the real-world challenge. By engaging in project, presentation, and a teamwork, student experience practical application of their knowledge and also build their confidence and adaptability for further academic and career success. Additionally, the emphasis on self-reflection through continuous feedback nurtures lifelong learning habits, encourage students to evaluate their progress and growth. For educators, CBA and SBA inspire a student-centered approach to lesson planning, promoting diverse and inclusive activities tailored to various learning styles. The focus on aligned outcome, ensuring that lessons are purposeful, while a scaffold, support, and regular feedback guide students towards mastery step by step. Ultimately, CBA and SBA bridge the gap between a theoretical learning and practically application equipment students with essential skill for their further, while empowering educators to create meaningful and engaging learning experience.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fatin Umairah binti Khairul Anwar. Today I want to present about introduction assessment in education, classroom-based assessment (CBA) and school-based assessment (SBA). I'm first semester. Okay. My first question is, do you believe CBA are there more opportunities for individual feedback than SBA? How? Yes, CBA generally offer more opportunities for individual feedbacks compared to SBA, and here why. First, tailored to student progress. CBA focus on the specific skill and learning progress of individual student. It is often ongoing and formative, meaning teacher can provide feedback that is direct, tied to the student current ability and growth area, helping them target their weakness and build on strength. Second is focus on specific learning goals. In CBA, teacher assess specific, often smaller learning objectives and skill, which allow for feedback to be more precise and relevant to the individual current learning need. SBA, on the other hand, are usually tied to broader standard of benchmark, making it harder to provide feedback for individual growth. Lastly is adjustability. CBA assessment can often be adapted or adjusted based on the student perform, allow teachers to shift their approach if a student is struggling or excelling. This level adjustment is harder to achieve with SBA, as they are typically designed to ensure a broader set of standards for a world-class or grade level. In summary, CBA focus on the individual learn progress and is ongoing. adaptable nature makes it more conducive to personal feedback compared to SBA, which offer more general and summative in nature. My second question is, what challenge do you face in using CBA or SBA to assess student fairly? Both CBA and SBA have their own unique challenge when it comes to assessing student fairly. Here are some of the key challenges for each approach. First, time consuming for teacher. CBA often require frequent ongoing assessment which can be time intensive for teacher. Providing personal feedback and tracking individual progress across multiple benchmarks can be overwhelming, especially in large classroom. Second is bias in feedback. Teacher may unintentionally provide feedback that is influenced by their own perception of a student, which can lead to unfairness. For instance, a teacher relationship with a student might affect the kind of feedback they provide, making it less objective. Challenge is using SBA. First, one-time assessment issue. SBA often rely on summative assessment, which means that a single test or assessment can determine a student performance. This can be unfair, especially if the student experience test anxiety, is ill on the day of the test, or has other internal factor affecting performance. Second is limited feedback. Why SBA are effective for measuring achievements against specific standard, they often provide little room for personal or detailed feedback. This can make it difficult for students to understanding their specific area for improvement, hindering their ability to learn and grow from the assessment. Common challenge for both approaches. Equity issue. Both CBA and SBA face challenge related to ensuring that all students are assessed on a level playing field. For instance, students with disabilities, language learning, or those facing socioeconomic challenge may not have equal opportunities to demonstrate their abilities under the assessment system. Second, teaching as expertise training. Both assessment types require teachers to be highly skilled in assessment design and interpretation. Misunderstanding or misapplying the principle of either CBA or SBA can lead to bias on incorrect assessment, which could result in unfair evaluation of student progress. That's all from me. Thank you.
Conclusion. Thank you.